Hey there, Jordan here, resident videographer at Space Creators. In this video, I'm gonna give you some basic tips, really the fundamentals of filming yourself and helping you raise the production value of your video. Don't worry if you feel like you're lacking technical skills or you don't have any camera experience. I'm gonna keep it super simple and really help you nail the fundamentals, and the rest, well, we'll handle the rest. So first things first, cameras. There's a common misconception that your camera needs to be really expensive or super fancy or capable of filming a Hollywood movie before you can start creating content. And it's simply not the case, especially in today's world with so many cameras at our fingertips. The device that's on your desk or in your hand or in your pocket at this moment is capable of doing the job if that's all you have. So don't stress about camera, use what you have. The trick is really to set your camera up for success. Give it the best conditions that it needs to capture a high quality image. And believe it or not, most of the time it really comes down to lighting. Personally, I have an iPhone 7 Plus. This phone is kind of ancient at this time and it still holds up. If it's a sunny day and I'm going out for a walk or I'm doing something with my family, I'll leave my cameras at home and just rely upon my phone because I know that my cell phone can thrive in that type of environment. So keep that in mind when talking about gear. It's a giant rabbit hole and it goes on forever. Don't overthink it, shoot with what you have. If you have a DSLR camera, a mirrorless camera, a point and shoot, or a phone, it doesn't really matter. What matters is how you use that camera and setting that camera up for success. Help it do its job. Okay, next up is deciding how are you going to set up your camera. Now, there's a few options for this. If you're like me, a lot of the time I'm filming myself. I don't have someone there that's helping me. I don't have an assistant, so I kind of have to lean on my tripod or some other device that's gonna be able to hold your camera. I know when I'm traveling or I'm going out on the town, I tend to leave my tripod at home because it's just too big and bulky. I bring this, the Joby GorillaPod. This is great because it's small, it fits right in my backpack, and also it turns anything into a tripod. I've wrapped this thing around light posts, I wrapped it around chairs or desks, anything really that will hold the camera firm and steady and allow me to get my shot when I'm by myself. And I just wanna mention, even a tripod or the GorillaPod or some other type of small tripod, they're not mandatory. If you're desperate, you can always rely to the old-fashioned vlog style, holding the camera up. I still do it in my videos because I never want my gear to get in the way of doing. You never want your gear to slow you down. You want it to help you. So don't overthink your camera, don't overthink your tripod or how you're gonna stabilize your camera. When in doubt, just get the shot. So let's talk about one of the most important and overlooked things when it comes to filming, not only yourself, but just filming in general, and that is lighting. Lighting is huge, and lighting is a big reason why maybe you do have an expensive camera, but your footage still kind of looks amateur and crappy. It really comes down to lighting. So when you are filming yourself, pay attention to lighting. The best type of lighting that you can get is natural light, natural daylight. Filming outside with the sun coming back towards you is optimal. Now I understand a lot of the times we're filming inside, kind of like me right now in this office, but right now I actually do have a light shining on my face. The room that I am in is lit up decently well for the daytime. There's windows on either side of me, but even with that, I still do rely heavily upon this light that's shining back on me right now. Just to give you an idea of what it would look like without this light. Now, it actually still doesn't look that bad. That's because I do have some good daylight coming through the window on this side and this side, but with this light on, give some light to this side of my face and really just helps brighten up the entire area. Now, this is the ultra simple guide to filming yourself. Lighting can be quite complex, but in the spirit of keeping it simple, maybe you don't have fancy gear, maybe you don't have a lighting setup. Use nature to your advantage. Daylight is the best type of light that you can get. So film close to a window, film outside. And when you are using these lighting sources, try to have the light behind the camera and shining towards you. If you have the light behind you, your background is gonna be overexposed and you're gonna appear dark. This is what you don't want. This is an example of what you do want. Okay, let's talk about audio for a second. Audio is one of those things that if you can nail it, even just having great audio can make your video look 100 times more professional than something that sounds kind of distorted and echoey, and there's a lot of things going on in the background. So please do pay attention to audio. If you are filming by yourself, try to film in a quiet space, especially if you don't have a microphone. If you do have a microphone, you know, you could take more risks with things going on in the background. But if you don't, your camera's microphone is gonna pick up everything and it's gonna make you sound more distorted. Best case scenario, you're gonna have a lapel mic like what I'm wearing. This can get pricey. If you have the funds, definitely go for it. Second in line is a shotgun mic. This is if you're filming with a DSLR camera, you can pop one of these on top, which will greatly enhance your audio. Okay, and we are at the end, our final step, and this one might actually be the most important of all, and that's framing. If you don't know, framing is how you are positioned in the frame of the camera. What I mean by that, right now I'm positioned in the center of the frame. Right now I am showing you how not to frame yourself. In filmmaking, there is a concept of the rule of thirds. And the idea is that the frame itself is broken up into 9 boxes, 2 vertical lines and 2 horizontal lines. What you want to aim for when filming yourself is positioning yourself in the middle third. When I'm filming myself, I try to position my eyes along that top horizontal line, and I like to have the top of my head kind of just grazing the top of the frame. That is because above my head, not much is ever really going on. So I want to give more spacing down here, because when we're talking, oftentimes we're using our hands, we're using body language, and if we can get some of that picked up in the frame, it just helps us communicate better and maybe help get our message or what we're saying across better to the viewer. Overall, where we want the viewer to be paying attention, that's what we should have in that middle box in the frame. In this case, we are the center of attention, and what we're saying is what we want the viewer to be paying attention to. If I have myself positioned on this side of the screen, maybe the viewer is going to be distracted by the stuff that's on my desk. But when I'm positioned in the middle third of the frame, it relates to the viewer, this is what I want you to pay attention to. But that's all I have for you guys in this ultra simple, also basic, nail the fundamentals tutorial on filming yourself. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and I can't wait to see what you come up with.